I'm sitting here with my brand new US Optics 1.5 to 6 power mil knob J&G mil reticle illuminated rifle scope. So that's kind of a mouthful, I know, but the beauty of this scope is that the reticle and the knobs both speak the same language, so you don't need a calculator to translate what they're saying. And to simplify it, you in a scenario where you shoot and you miss 2 mils or 2 dots or 2 spaces to the right, you simply hold 2 mils further to the left and shoot again. And this is my philosophy of long range shooting. It's called 2 shots, 1 kill. That 1 shot, 1 kill is really hard, especially if you're not a master at reading the wind. Closer ranges, 600, 800 yards, it's more doable. When you get out past that, the wind will own you. She's definitely a harsh mistress. So I tried to do a lot of close-ups. I know I wish before I bought this I could have seen some real tight close-ups of how it works. I've watched the video on US Optics on how to center the erector so I can get the maximum amount of travel out of the knob, but I haven't tried to do it yet because I'm still waiting for my mount. When you get into this high-end stuff, sometimes you're waiting a long time for things to come in. To give you an idea on this, I think it was about a 4-month wait. I don't know that it's one of their more common requests. I think most people would rather have a 1.8 to 10 power or something even more powerful. But this is going on a recce rifle, which is kind of my pet rifle right now. Before that I would always shoot a heavy Savage Model 12 with a Super Sniper 10x scope on it. That was it still is a great rifle with a great scope on it. The only issue is it's just like carrying around a big 4x4. You end up carrying it over your shoulder like a big plank. So this is going on a little 16-inch ADS recce rifle. A recce rifle, spelled R-E-C-C-E, pronounced recce, not Reese. I mean, you can say it however you want, but it's recce is British for reconnoiter or reconnoiter, mate, something like that. I don't know how they say it. I think the SAS guy would say, let's go on up there and do a little recce, which meant scout it out. So recce rifle. I'll show the recce rifle in another video. This knob, this windage knob, even though it is adjustable, easily adjustable for windage, it's just meant to be set it and forget it, because I'll use the reticle for windage and I'll use the knob for elevation when I want to. That way at least one of the lines will be held spot on, and the wind is going to be a lot more variable than the elevation. Once you get your elevation figured out, it should be good to go for well, where I live, all day until it cools down. But I guess if you live in the mountains, you might need to adjust elevation more often, or if you're during a storm. So each one of these clicks, and I hope I'm getting this right because I haven't thought about this for a while. So that click should be 1 centimeter at 100 meters or 10 centimeters at 1,000 meters. So the beauty of that is pretty easy to do multiples of 10. So if you're shooting 500 yards, quick class, what is it? 1 click, 5 centimeters. 2 clicks, 10 centimeters. Realistically, more likely what I'll be doing is I'll know the come-ups for a certain distance. I'll know 500 yards, how many centimeters it is, or actually I'll know how many clicks, one or the other. And you dial it in, let's just say it's whatever, and then shoot. And if you're high or low, which means you predicted or you don't have the right atmospheric conditions, you didn't have time to crank up your Kestrel and find out what the density altitude really was. Let's say you miss 3 mils high, you would just hold 3 mils lower and shoot, or if you have the time, you can actually dial 3 mils into it. So this is a mil, 3 to 4, 1 mil, 2 mils, 3 mils, 4, and each click is 1/10 of a mil. If you're familiar with the MOA knobs with the mil reticle, you know how what a pain that is. That adds a whole nother aspect to long-range shooting that people have to learn. This just throws that away, and I think it's good because it puts more of the emphasis on the basics, the fundamentals, like how to line up behind a rifle, how to squeeze the trigger, how to breathe, all those things that we should have learned in kindergarten, but some of us were poorly educated. Anyway, you don't need to worry about that, the translation from a reticle in mil to a knob in MOA. Just sell that scope on eBay or wherever you like to, or Gunbroker, and go with mil. Probably the best entry-level mil scope right now is the SWFA 3 to 9 power, or one of their fixed 10 power high resolution scopes, I guess. But I think they even have a 1 to 4 power coming out pretty soon. Those guys make good stuff, and I don't sell it, but they sell it all direct. So I think a lot of long-range shooters are of the opinion that they make the best entry-level stuff. But when you're beyond the entry level, and let's say you're becoming an intermediate shooter, which is kind of where I am, beginning, intermediate, definitely not cleaning their clocks at the high power range, that's for sure. I'm definitely a beginner as far as high power goes. But when you're ready to step up to what I consider a professional grade or a high-end optic, this is one way to go. And I actually sell these. Haven't sold very many yet, but if you're ready for the painful part about this is probably about a $1,600 scope. E-rec knobs about $200, the illumination another $200. Every upgrade you add to it is gonna be $200. I think $200, $200, $200. So you're looking at $1,600, 4 months wait for what I consider to be the ultimate recce rifle scope. And the reason why, and I've done a lot of research on it, there are other competitors that are probably just as good a quality and just as good of everything, but they don't have a one-turn knob, and that's what we're looking for, is to be able to go out to 1,000 yards with one turn of the knob. You can't really get lost because you can set